Hello, and welcome to Amá CONVERSA. How are you doing today, Donald?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being here today on Amá CONVERSA. So, Donald, I have a little thing to tell the listeners about Donald. So, Donald used to be on Palma Media as well, and he used to be on the other side. So, today is going to be a little treat. It's going to be totally different. He used to be the interviewer, but today he's going to be the interviewee. So if anyone is interested in seeing all the work that he's done for Palma Media, the only thing you have to do is go to our Facebook page, click videos, and go ahead and scroll down. And this was around 2016, 2017. So you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to see all those videos that Donald Mota has done for us. So that is fantastic. I just had to say that, because you were one of the first to have an interviewing show with Palma Media. So thank you for that and all your hard work. You have a really awesome interviews on there. I've already watched almost all of them. So congratulations, Parabanks to you. But today we're gonna talk about your amazing artwork. So behind you, Donald, I see that you have a work that you have says Felicidade. Can you talk a little bit about that piece right there?
Yeah, I don't even know what I had to look back and see. So it's a lot of my pieces right now that I'm working on are collage pieces. I really love textures. I try to encompass like the whole feel of what like someone first generation Portuguese-American would feel when they're coming over.
Yes.
And so to me, what I try to express is like just the hodgepodge of the emotions of missing their homeland, and then kind of meshing it together with their new found
That's
home.
cool. So it's kind of like a fusion between a traditional and a modern, and you mix it together and you have a fusion art. That's what I like to say. I love saying fusion.
I am definitely going to, that's what I do. I do fusion art, I guess.
Exactly. Fusion art. And with mixed mediums, I love that you love different textures and different mediums. I'm totally into that. And we're definitely going to dive into more of your artwork. But right now I want to talk about your shirt that you have on. So I see that you have a beautiful design shirt, and I, for basically 10 years of my life, was in promos. So the shirt that you have on is like everything that I've been doing for the last decade. So
can you know that about you? That's so
yes.
It makes sense. That makes sense.
Thank you. So I have a marketing background, and I'm obsessed with all things merch. So can you talk a little bit about the merch that you have, and where do we find the merch to purchase?
So one of the shirts obviously is, I call it the Funky Galu.
The Funky Galu.
Yeah, it's my take on the Barcelona. It's a character that I really love. I'm actually working on a kid's book with that as well, and then
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, navigate all the way I want to tell the story of it.
Yes.
So yeah, the merch, I have that. I have a bunch of other designs, illustrations that I work on, that I have up on my store. It's donaldmotastore.com, I believe. For the time being, I'm in the works of getting my donaldmota.com licensing back. Someone kind of snagged that, and now that's a completely different story, but it's funny. It's a great lesson learned.
Of course. Yes.
So anyways, yeah, that's another little side gig, side hustle. Gotta do the hustle and the passion. I love merch.
Me too.
Love merch.
So what do you have available? You have shirts. What else do you have?
Shirts, mugs, hats, sweaters, wallpaper.
Beautiful.
That is going to be launching probably today. I'll be posting that as well. Yeah.
Exciting wallpaper.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's kind of like an old school geeky thing that I love. I love wallpaper.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You're bringing it back.
I love it. Yeah. There's actually a company in Venetia, I believe it is, that they do all their own screen painting. It's all screen printed wallpaper. So they do this beautiful wallpaper. And I like to geek out on that.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, so we have a lot of similarities. I can also geek out on all that stuff forever. So that is amazing, amazing news. And not only that, Donald, but you're going to have an exhibition coming up this summer in Long Beach in July. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So the venue is not dialed in quite yet, but the time frame for me and the other artist, we're doing, obviously I'm a first generation Portuguese-American. He's an American, and we're working on a dual show to where we mesh those two together. Really heavy on type. He's a phenomenal type artist.
Oh, wow.
So we're working on that, and then we're actually looking into getting some musical talent coming down. So tap on some shoulders there. So yeah, tap on that shoulder there. Time frame is going to be June, July time frame. It'll be up for a month and a half.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting, especially in this time. You know, it's a crazy world that we live in. But also a beautiful thing. I'm a firm believer that I call it God. Some people call it the universe or energy, whatever.
Yeah.
I definitely believe that all things have a purpose, good or bad, and it gives you perspective. So as soon as you change the way you look at it, then the things that you look at change. So yeah.
Yes, 100%. And we're always growing, we're always learning, we're always evolving. So you may have met me 6 years ago. I could have been a completely different person, and I could be a different person today. We're always changing. That's the beautiful thing about being a human. You decide what you want to do, and you grow and you learn and you change. So that's fantastic. And another thing, I've never been to Long Beach, so I would love to see Long Beach. Definitely.
Just hearing the word Long Beach gave me chills. I think you're gonna love it. It's got a little bit of grit. But it's such a jewel.
So are you born in Long Beach, or you just moved there? So can you tell me a little bit about Long Beach and you?
Yeah, so I'm first generation Portuguese American. My family immigrated from São Jorge.
Nice. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, my mother was born in Caleta, Top area. My father was from Caleta. They immigrated about 40, 50 years ago. I was born and raised in Central California, so like Turlock, Modesto area. And then I moved. I kind of move around a lot.
You are a gypsy man.
My family called me either a nomad or a gypsy.
I love gypsies. I also call myself that.
It's really common in our culture too. I didn't know that until I went back to the mainland a few years ago. Like, okay.
Very common in our culture, yes.
Yeah. And so I moved out to Long Beach. Shoot, we're in 2021. I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
And how are you liking it compared to Central Valley or other places that you've lived before?
I'm falling head over heels with Long Beach.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like,
that's great.
This might be the place where I rest the bones. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so you found your forever home. That's great. So you love Southern California. I used to go to Oceanside all the time. So I love Oceanside. I love San Diego, Carlsbad, Vista, all those places.
Yeah.
Yes, but I've never been to Long Beach. So I'm very curious about it. I know a lot of the Long Beach culture because I am a Snoop Dogg fan. So I do, I do know some of the culture. So I'm very excited to check it out. And another thing, me and Donald, so, okay, for the listeners that don't know who Donald Mota is, Donald is also a bullfighter. And I met him was 6 years ago. It was like 2015 area. Yeah. And he had been a bullfighter before. He took a little break, and then he came back and he was doing his bullfighting thing. And on that night, I was actually there. So I'm from San Jose, and when we would go out to a bullfight, it was like a treat. It was like a really special thing that we would do because, you know, we don't have that in San Jose. Well, we didn't have that before, but now we kind of do. But anywho, so then I saw Donald do his thing, and I was like, who is that guy? Like, he was right in the front, grabbing the bulls, and on that day, like, you busted your face somehow, and it was, like, bleeding. I remember that. There was, like, blood everywhere. I hate blood, by the way. Hate blood. So of course I noticed that and remember that, of course, right?
Mhm.
And then after the bullfight, we all went to an after party at one of the Forcado's house, and we had a big fun time. And I was telling Donald, do you remember that night? And he said, absolutely, I remember meeting you on that night. I'm like, yeah, I was the crazy girl, basically the only one that jumped into the pool.
At like 2 or 3 in the morning, it was awesome.
Yes, it's like, so how can you forget that? But on that night, honestly, I have to say, I drank the most Jack Daniels I've ever drank in my life was on that night.
Yeah, I don't remember that part.
See, when you party with the big boys, you gotta do the big boys
come
too,
with it.
you know?
Yeah.
But so that's another thing about Donald. So he's very immersed in our Portuguese culture. He has merch, he does artwork, he even does commissioned pieces. So that's amazing. So if you have a vision in mind and you want something specific, you can talk with Donald about it, and he can make your realizations come to life. And so, yeah, so that's another thing added to your list, to your resume per se, that he's also a bullfighter. So can you talk a little bit about your involvement with bullfighting, and what was that, just for the listeners that don't know what that is? Can you explain that a little bit?
So as far as like the art form of being a forcado, for anybody that doesn't know what it is, it's the way I explain it is like being in a play or a dance with nature, and it just happens to be a bull. Everybody says bullfighting. I always like to say art form or dance with a bull. Yeah, it's because the whole
It's
word,
a delicate subject.
and I totally understand. I really try to see it from everybody's perspective, and I mean that's the whole point of this whole human experience that we get blessed to experience.
Yes.
Is trying to see it from someone else's sunglasses.
Yeah.
So yeah, the art form that I get to participate in is being a forcado. It's the process of the Portuguese style bullfighting, where after the cavalade, which is a horseman, fights the bull, we go in, a group of 8 of us, we jump in, and the front guy, which is usually what I do, or the tail guy, we kind of direct the ship and try to grab the bull by the horns and subdue it.
Yes.
I think that's pretty good explanation. That's at least
very
the way
good.
that I see it.
Yes, no, totally. So, and let me be clear here for the listeners. In California, these are called bloodless bullfights. So they are different than what is performed in Portugal, Azores, Spain. Very different than Spain, for sure. Even a Spanish torada and a Portuguese torada still has its differences. Very, very similar, but they have their differences. So California bloodless bullfight has nothing to do with killing the bull at the end. So if anyone's ever interested in watching something like that, there's plenty of YouTubes, but after this pandemic, I'm sure we'll start, that will come back slowly, I'm thinking.
I'm hearing that it's gonna be coming back, which I'm really excited for.
Okay, good, very good. Yeah. Because I know, so my husband is a capinha, and he does torada.
A badass. I'm sorry if I can't use that word, but
no, you can.
Okay, cool. A badass.
Thank you so much. He, like, the way I describe it is kind of what you just said. When I tell my friends that are not Portuguese, I tell them that basically he respects the animal so much that he even treats the bull. I was talking to George Martins last night because he had a little private party, and I was telling him, like, the way that he interacts with the bull is very unique and different. I've never seen anyone treat the bull like that. He loves them. Like, he literally loves them. He treats them like a pet. Like when he's petting them, or that he likes to say quando estou dar carinhos, like he's petting them. He's loving them. He's petting them, because sometimes I think those bulls probably never have gotten petted, or, you know, like the way that he does with them is very sweet. And he's trying to explain that he's not poking fun at the animal. What he's not disrespecting. What he's doing is showing the audience, his bravura. He's showing the audience what the animal can do, his muscles, his what he can move, maneuver, how he can do it. So he's showing off the animal. He's not disrespecting the animal. He's showing the magnificence of the animal and showing what the animal can do. That is his meta. That is his goal when he does that. So
he's showing what the bull is capable of doing. It's, you know, I love the way that you guys explain that, because it's kind of like a dog breeder or dog trainer takes.
Yes,
you're showcasing, you're doing the flips or the walk.
100%.
That's a great way to look at it.
That's how I look at it, because I too was somebody that, you know, I don't like any type of thing that does harm to an animal, of course, right?
Or a person, or anything.
Or a person. But I think sometimes I like animals more than people, but that's a totally different subject.
Right.
But yeah, so I want people to understand, like, we're not trying to disrespect the animal, either for the forcage, the cavalage, the torada de corda. Like, we're not trying to do any of that. We're literally just trying to showcase our tradition, but in a modern way that we show respect and love for the animal. So I just wanted to put that out there in the universe.
Right. And to kind of just, because if you bring up bulls, I'm just gonna sit here and talk about it.
Oh yeah, I could talk forever.
They're a beautiful animal. But just to kind of go off on that, I know it's hard to explain this, but I strongly believe that the bull really does enjoy the whole process of it as well, because when you're out there, especially eye level and foot the hoof, you could feel and see the energy of the bull just change, and they totally get a kick out of being able to hit you.
Yes, of course.
They enjoy it, and I like to be able to, that interaction, that almost animal instinct of me getting to my animal soul or instinct, and you're touching that animal. You become almost one.
Yes, that's the thing that Hilbrand always, my husband, likes to do, is always, he loves to touch on the head, touch the horns, touch anything that he can. So that's true.
Yeah, I mean, just touching the hip when you go by them too, they go right by you. Just touch the hip a little bit. It's like,
but that is a huge, like, as well, this is a totally different subject now, but that is a huge adrenaline rush that you get too. And that's kind of a similar thing that I experience when I'm singing or on stage or whatever. That is like carnival or whatever it may be. I also get adrenaline rush, but it's probably on a lower scale than being in front of a bull. But I
don't know. I don't know. I think all I mean, they're different, but the same.
Yes.
Because I've picked, so I need to be really physical. That's just how I'm wired. Mm-hmm. And I picked up, since we haven't been able to bullfight, I picked up surfing.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
I recommend it to everybody. It's like
the best workout, right?
Oh my God, it's the best workout. And just that whole adrenaline thing of doing something that everybody tells you.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody tells you not to go out there, and then you just go further than what everybody else does, and that adrenaline kicks in. Just like singing in front of everybody.
Yes.
You put these self-imposed doubts and fears, because we all have insecurities, right?
Yes.
And you set those on yourself, and then you break it. It's like climbing a mountain and then being able to sit on top of the mountain and look at the whole view.
Yes. Oh my God. That's a good metaphor. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, because you're setting a goal, and the goal can be scary, right? But then when you actually achieve the goal, you celebrate it, right? You feel good inside. You might not announce it to the world, but you feel like you conquered something for yourself. And that in turn makes your character and your soul stronger and stronger and stronger. So that's what exactly we're talking about. Living your life with purpose and intent, but living your life and learning from the experiences and growing and changing to be our full selves. You know what I'm trying to say?
Totally. And then hopefully you could pass that to somebody else somehow. We rub on them a little bit, and then I
hope so. Yes.
That whole cause and effect, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping that the show Amá CONVERSA, it's a crazy time right now still. We're a little bit getting out of it, but I hope that this show inspires people to get out of their comfort zone, to put their insecurities aside, like you said, and just push forward and persevere. If you have goals, just because Joe Schmo or your dad or your mom or your grandma down the street says it's a stupid idea and you can't do it, well, if it's an idea that just keeps bugging and bugging, or rued, like we say in Portuguese, keeps rued, like a little bichinho, then that means that that's what you're supposed to do. Like for me, I suppressed my singing for a very long time, but like the more I suppressed it, the louder it got, the crazier I got. So when I could finally release it, it's like, yeah, you get chills, yeah, you get everything, but I think it's like the universe saying, this is what you're supposed to do, woman. Wake up. Yeah.
It's liberating, right?
If you ignore, yes, it's very liberating. If you ignore it, the stronger it gets. And either you'll make yourself crazy or you have to release it. So I released it.
And you know what? I'm so freaking glad you did.
Oh my God.
I've been in the corner like,
yes.
Like really, really good. Super impressed. Actually, there's a video you did with a guy. Oh my God, just thinking about is getting me. He looks like, I don't know if you ever heard of Jeremy Fish. He's an artist.
Yes.
The guy with the beard.
Yes, the beard. Yes. He's from Scotland or Ireland, and he's really good. He's really good.
He's really good, but you two together, you guys play off each other so freaking good.
Oh my God. That is my favorite guy to duet with. I have another guy that I love to duet with in Italy, but that guy from Scotland or Ireland, he's just, wow, amazing. Thank you. I'm so happy that you enjoy my duet. So thank you.
I mean, you be down. I'm really. It doesn't surprise me. There's some people that you come across in the world in your life, and you're just like, okay, yeah, they're on a different
yes, level. When I met Donald, I was super aggressive with him. I was like, who? I sat next to him. I pulled a chair next to him. I'm like, who are you? What is your?
I remember.
Yes.
That's so cool. You were, and I was like, I like her. She's just like up front. She's not noble. I
don't know what was up with me on that day, but I was not scared. I had confidence. It must have been the liquid courage. But I didn't know Donald from nowhere. I pulled up a chair right next to him, and I knew that he was like the hot shot bullfighter guy. So I was like, what am I doing with my life right here? But I sat next to him, and I was like, hey, you did a great job today. How you feeling? This and that, blah, blah, blah. So kind of like exactly what I'm doing today, I was doing to you years ago without the camera.
Isn't that wild? Like, you just never know where life's going to take you.
You never know. You never know who you might meet, and you never know what they may be to you in the future or what they may turn out to be. Because, Donald, I love your art so much. And not only that, I just love art. I've always loved art. I actually love to create myself. And I'm hoping, which I'm throwing this into the universe, so I'm throwing it out there, I'm hoping that down the line someday that I could have a gallery and that I could have your art at my gallery. That's what I really want. I don't talk too much about this, but it is something that I definitely want, and I've wanted this even before my own father started to paint during this quarantine.
We're going to talk about that too, by the way.
He started to paint. Like I said, like if you have a talent, just try, because you never know. And he only discovered this after being over 60 years old, okay? He barely started to paint now, and the man is a natural born talent. He's amazing. He's so amazing. So I want people to understand that I wanted this art gallery before my father even started painting, but of course I can already hear the people saying, oh, she just wants a gallery because her father is an artist now. But no, I actually painted before my father. So that's the funny part about it. But he is amazing.
You said he just recently picked it up with the whole pandemic thing?
Yes, he just recently picked it up with the pandemic thing and never painted a day in his life before. And he started painting around his birthday, which was like May. So it's going to make a year pretty soon. And he's painted every single day since that. And he's made over 200 paintings, and he's already sold so many. Yeah.
You know what?
Rocking out.
So a couple of things. I've never met your father, obviously.
You have to meet him, by the way. He's
I want to. I want to. But not only that, I want to, if you could relay this to him, I want to I want to purchase a piece off him, but I also, for sure,
Oh,
like
thank
there's
you.
a, I want to get an image and see if he could paint it for me. It's the church that my parents got married at. If he could do that, that would be
I think you could just show it to him, and then
cool.
he will try it. Like there's been so many things that people have shown him, and
Uh,
he's tried, and it's come out really, really good.
so,
So
and
yeah,
then
that'd be great.
I would also like, if he's down with it, to do a collaboration and then possibly have that at the show too. That would be like,
Oh my God, he's gonna feel so honored. I'll definitely,
yeah,
definitely tell him
throw
that.
that his way. I also wanted to, if you don't mind, you've been doing some interviews with this. First of all, I'm super proud what you've done with the whole Palma.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
running with it, and that's you raised the bar.
Thank
Definitely
you
raised
so
the bar.
much. That is so
And
sweet to hear.
some of the people that you like, super humble that you brought me on. I'm thankful. Nervous, I was really nervous, but
Please, you don't have to be nervous. It's just me, Marisa
no,
from the
yeah.
block.
But the people that you brought on, I mean, there's some just crazy talent, and the fact that you've been able to reach like literally around the world and bring these people in, it's really inspiring and
Thank
amazing.
you.
There's this artist that you brought on from, I think he's from San Jose, and he did
Joseph Arruda,
oh,
top of the line guy, top of the line guy.
and he's a good dude too. That's even better. Like,
And a good dude, and a very good dude. You guys have to meet each other because I think your personalities would definitely go well together. He's very unique, just like you, and you guys are out of the box thinkers. And I think that is exactly what's going to take us and our culture, forward. You got to have an outside perspective. We have the American and the Portuguese, and that helps us out a lot, let me say.
well, yeah, because I mean, our ancestors were, I mean, explorers, right? So you have to think outside the box
Exactly.
to go out into the ocean and go over the cliff that's gonna fall, right? Because
Yes.
everything was flat, right?
There is a quote that I love to use, and hopefully I don't butcher it now, but it's basically, you cannot discover new horizons unless you have the courage to leave the shore. So that's what I like to live by. But anyways, Donald, thank you so much. Today has been a huge, huge treat. And just to piggyback on what you said, I am honored to have you here because, like I said, I've been a fan of yours from the beginning, from the get-go. Since I saw you that night doing your thing with the bull, I've been a huge fan of yours. And at that point, I didn't even know you were an artist. But then once I figured it out, I was like, dude, this guy's amazing. Not only is he amazing because of his personality, but he's amazing because he has a beautiful, beautiful talent and he makes beautiful creations that I love. And another thing, is there any last words that you want to say today on Amá CONVERSA? I think we basically talked about everything we wanted to talk about. So
I think
I'm
so.
happy.
I want to thank you for what you do for our culture. And you and Paul, you guys are.
No, thank you for what you do as well. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And then all the past guests. You guys are really inspirational. I mean,
Thank
one
you.
more person. That Fadista from Germany.
From
Like,
Germany?
are you serious? And not only is it cool, but she's freaking really like. I was
Top of the line.
top of the line. I was
She's
like,
top of the line. She's top of the line. That girl is gonna go. She is gonna go all the way, I think, because her voice is beautiful. Not only is her voice beautiful, the girl is beautiful to look at. Like, wow.
she's easy on the eyes. And
Yes, easy on the eyes. Beautiful voice. And she is a beautiful person inside and out. So when you are a beautiful person inside and out, good things will come to you regardless of what it is. So thank you so much. I'm so happy that you like them. So what I did during this quarantine, I took advantage and I got to know a lot of different people from a lot of different places around the world. And then later on down the line, I was approached by Nelson Late with this idea. And of course I couldn't pass it up. So then all these little connections and bonds that I was creating and growing for all these months, now I said, hey, would you guys be willing to come on my show? And of course, all of them were like, of course. So that just goes to show you guys, no matter what, break the boundaries. You don't have to stay within your own location. You can talk to people from different places of the world and find all the similarities. I talk to people from all over the place, and you would be surprised and like, wow, shocked on how alike we all really are. We're all human. Yeah. Right.
It's really cliche, but in the end, we're all the same. We all signed the same contract that we're all going to die, and it's really short-lived.
Exactly. We all basically, we need to be humble because we all end up in the same place. So that's how I think. So thank you so much, Donald, for being here today on Amá CONVERSA. And I wish you the best today, tomorrow, and all the time. I am a huge, huge fan, and I cannot wait to see what else you have in store for us.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love you and what you're doing. Take care.
Thank you.
Also, one last thing.
Yes.
Love the nails. Love the nails.
You know I gotta get my nails done. So these ones say Amá on them. And I got shout out to Christine Martins in Hilmar. She does a very, very good job.
And a cool chick.
Very cool chick. Yes. So thank you again, Donald. And I hope to see you physically soon.
Right. Me too.
Okay. It's been way too long. It's been years. Like I think I haven't even seen you like before I had a kid.
No, that's pretty, yeah.
And my daughter's 3.5 years old, so
it's been a solid 4 years, yeah.
It's been a long time. All right, my friend, thank you so much. Have a good one.